My name is Brian Pinter. I'm a senior at St. Edward High School, and I composed a film for Of Monsters and Men. My first memory of music was when I was 3 years old, and my mom took me to see the Cleveland Orchestra downtown. And I remember seeing the violins, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. So I was like, Mom, I really want to play the violin. And she kind of laughed it off at that time because I was 3 years old, and that's kind of silly for a 3-year-old to want to play violin. But I was persistent for the next couple of years, and then finally, when I was in first grade for Christmas, my mom got me my first violin, and I've been playing ever since. Alright, so Of Monsters of Men is, to me, when Kevin first showed me the script of the film, I was immediately drawn to it. It's about brotherhood. It's about testing morality and sacrificing for a person you love. And I can kind of relate to that, of course, not in a apocalyptic sense, our world's fine right now. But I have a brother, and making sacrifices for him is a big part of my life. So when Kevin came to me about this film, and I read it, and it's very depressing. And I like to write depressing music. Funny, but it really makes you wear your heart on your sleeve, and involves the most emotion, and really impacts people the most. So when I was writing the music, I wanted to have themes for the two main characters, who are Adam and Charlie, because they're both very different in what drives them, and I wanted those themes to be all over the place. So Charlie's theme might be an echo on one spot, or Adam's theme might be really, really huge in another part, and have them mixed together so that it really adds a whole other element to this film, which has already got tons of symbols and visual cues. And I wanted to use instruments that I know I could really drive emotion out of. And any instrument with a good musician, you can have emotion, but I knew that violin and viola and the guitar parts, I could really, with the right backing chords, can get at the heart. And that was the goal of this. Okay, so the Raiders scene is probably the biggest chunk of music. It's one of the biggest overall scenes in the film. And it's one of the first Kevin showed me to come up with something, and it was I actually wrote this on Christmas Day. I was just bored, and it just came to me. And I wanted something that the structure of it is pretty asymmetrical, so that right when you think everything is resolving, you get hit with this dissonance, a dissonant chord. And it's very unconventional, yet there's still order, and it builds and builds and builds, and then at the end it just kind of lets loose and dies off. So collaborating with the film department on this movie, I've always been pretty close to my music, and getting the opportunity to this whole different kind of writing of music was really huge for me. And I actually use this score a lot because I'm looking into going into composition as a career. And I used it in most of my college portfolios, and a lot of professors have already told me that they've really enjoyed the music, and it's very powerful. And this film has just given me something to write for. Sometimes it's hard to find inspiration when you're young and you're, just growing up, and this film really gave me something to write for, people to write for, and a message to convey.